The 8-Minute Devotion is on a 12-week break for the summer. We'll be back with brand new episodes on September 9th. Until then, enjoy this episode from our classic I Am series, first recorded back in 2019. God bless and have a great summer.
Yo, 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 welcome back to the 8-Minute Devotion. Thank you for joining us today as we're going to be looking at Jesus as the light of the world. We're looking at the 7 I Ams of Jesus, where he gives us insight to himself, where he gives us insight to his ministry. And right now we're looking at the second one, where Jesus said, I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. And we've said yesterday that the light of the world wants to bring us out of all darkness. We don't have to continue in the dark, but can live in the light of his glorious kingdom. The first thing that the light of the world does, the first thing that the light of the world helps us to do, number one, is he is light that sees. He is light that sees. You know, as the light of the world, Jesus helps us to see in the darkness. In this dark world that we're living in, he gives guidance and direction when we need it the most. When we most need that guidance and direction, Jesus is there to provide it for us. You know, in the very next chapter, when Jesus said, I am the light of the world, that's John 8. The very next chapter, John 9, Jesus heals the man born blind, and he literally gives light. He literally gives vision to a blind man. Right after giving this speech and leaving the temple, Jesus gives light that helps that man to see. And of course, he healed several blind men in the Gospels. 1 Peter 2:9 is an example of how he helps us to see. 1 Peter 2:9, but you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for his own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. Jesus called us out of darkness into his glorious light. He gave us the ability to see. He called us out of the darkness. He put us into the light so that we can see. You see, we were ignorant of where to go. We were ignorant of where to walk, but Jesus helped us to see what we were created for. We were created to be a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Jesus chose to make us his own possession. You see, as people who have been saved by the light of the world, we can see his excellencies and we can proclaim them. Jesus wants to help us see. You know, his light also helps us see the way we should go, the way we should walk. As believers, we don't have to go around guessing what's best for us. We can know how God is leading us. He leads us toward green pastures. He knows what is best for us. He knows what is best for us. You know, Jeremiah 10:23 tells us that it's not in man who walks to direct his own ways. In other words, man doesn't know the best way to walk on his own. We can't see on our own. We are stumbling in darkness. We are blind. But then when we come to Jesus, he lights our path. He gives us the ability to see. He enlightens our eyes. Psalm 119, 105 puts it this way: your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. You see, Jesus, the light of the world, he gives us his word, and that enlightens our path. He gives us a lamp. He shows us the way to go. A lamp for our feet. We can see where we should go in the short term. We can see the small steps that we need to take. And a light to our path, we can see the long-term steps as well. He shows us where to go today. He shows us the direction that we should walk in the long term. A lamp to our feet and a light to our path. You see, he enlightens our path. He gives us a lamp. He shows us the way to go. I've seen this in my own life. Times that Jesus is the light of the world. He stepped in. He showed me what I should do. He showed me the direction that I should go. I remember many, many years ago when I was first going into ministry, I knew the Lord had called me into missions. I knew that Jesus was leading me to the mission field, to Asia in specific, but I had open doors in a couple of different countries. I had open doors in India. I had open doors in another country in Asia, and I really was asking the Lord, which one should I go to? Because I had this feeling I needed to go. I needed to make a decision. The time was coming when I needed to go. And I didn't know which country to go to. So for 3 weeks, I fasted and prayed, Lord, show me the way. Lord, show me the way. Just like Daniel did the Daniel fast for those 3 weeks, that's what I did. I prayed. I said, Lord, give me the answer. And I didn't feel a specific answer. All the way until the last night of the fast, I'd been praying, Lord, I need to know. And God didn't speak to me. So I thought, well, I'm not going to know yet. I went to a service that night, a revival type service. It was a Friday night. And I went to that service, and, I'll never forget how God spoke to me that night. It was a service out in Rochester, Michigan. And, we were worshiping and we were singing that song, I'm desperate for you. I would sing, but I'm on a podcast and I don't want to sing on the podcast. But I was singing that song. I was laying down on the ground, worshiping the Lord, singing that song. I'm desperate for you. I'm hungry for you. I want you. And right in that moment, God started speaking to me. India, India, India. God spoke right to my heart, India, as I was worshiping. And, my mind was no longer on that. My mind was just on worship. And that's when God spoke to me, India, India, India. And I said, thank you, Lord. But Lord, can you confirm it? And the amazing thing was this. After worship, the pastor asked us to stand and pray. And he said, take hands with the person next to you. And I'll never forget, I took hands. I didn't know exactly who was around me. I had just been worshiping in abandon to the Lord. I took hands with the person next to me, opened my eyes, and it was a young lady of Indian descent. It was someone from India right beside me. And, see, God had spoken to me, India, India, India. I said, Lord, please confirm it. And right away, he has me hold hands with someone from India. I said, thank you, Lord. Can you confirm it one more time so that I know for sure? Will you help me see the way you're leading me? We went back to our seats after the prayer. The first thing the pastor said when he started to preach, he said this, there was this one time I was going to go to India. That was exactly what the pastor said. It was confirmed to me. God spoke it to me. God had me hold hands with the person from India. Then the first thing the pastor said was, I was going to go to India. And I realized that God was calling me to India. I obeyed. I went to India, and that opened the door for all the other blessings God brought into my life. The last 20 plus years all started by going to India. God gave me light to see. God gave me light to see which way I should go. He was a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. Friends, if you're trying to see, if you're trying to make a decision, if you're asking the Lord, why is everything so dark? Why can't I sense what you're speaking? What's wrong? Why can't I see? Trust him. Trust him. He will speak to you. If your heart is after him, he will speak to you. Jesus is the light of the world, and he is light that helps us to see. He doesn't want you to stumble around in darkness. He wants you to see so you can fulfill his will, so you can go, you can carry his word, you can do what he's called you to do. He is light that sees. Thank you for listening. We're going to be back tomorrow on the 8-Minute Devotion.
Thank you for listening to the 8-Minute Devotion. We trust you've been encouraged and blessed today. Please subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or by visiting the8minutedevotion.podbean.com. For questions or comments, please email us at the8minutedevotion@gmail.com or visit our Facebook page. We would love to hear from you.